Today on the channel, we finish up the Eternals with the Gilgamesh Build-A-Figure and Crow Deluxe figure. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Eternals unboxing and review from, of course, Hasbro Marvel Legends. And today we finish up all these Eternal figures with the Gilgamesh Build-A-Figure and the deluxe figure Crow. But remember, for all your Marvel Legends needs and a whole lot more, hit up Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. So the Marvel Legends Eternals wave finally comes to an end. One of, if not the biggest Marvel Legends waves of all time. A very interesting wave when all things are said and done. And honestly, I feel like I said in the other reviews, this is one of those waves that's better together than separately. And we'll see that as, for the first time here, I'm going to get all the figures together in a little high school reunion, I guess we'll call it. But we're going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there, at least with Crow. Gilgamesh, on the other hand, he is the Build-A-Figure with this wave. Many of the figures throughout, except for Ajax, Icarus, and Athena, they did not come with pieces. The rest of them came with pieces to build our very own Gilgamesh. And that's what we got right here. I put him together. Now, I always feel a little bit cheated on these Build-A-Figures, as Build-A-Figures got to be big, bad dudes. Almost like a Crow type figure. That's what I want out of my Build-A-Figures, where Gilgamesh is just a bigger guy, but not a Build-A-Figure. When we're thinking Ursa Majors, we're thinking Armadillo, we're thinking, big characters. But I see why they did that. He is the biggest, toughest Eternal. Makes a little bit sense there, but it just feels kind of weird getting a Build-A-Figure that's not this hulking brute, I guess. But hey, you go years back, we got Hit Monkey as a Build-A-Figure, we got Puck as a Build-A-Figure, so compared to those, he is a big dude, so is what it is. But Gilgamesh, he does fit on a ringside stand, like I said. I did put him together, and it's funny, some of these littler Build-A-Figures are harder to put together than the big ones, as the arms gave me some fits a little bit, so did the legs, had to really power them in there, power them through. I did do that, so that did work. I will say that the plastic on him as a whole, he was the greasiest of all of them. All of them had a little bit of a plastic grease to them, but Gilgamesh here took that to a next level. He was very, very greasy. I don't know what he's been up to in his spare time, but Gilgamesh went together, got him together. He's going to join the rest of the Eternals. And just looking at him real close, he looks like a lot of the other Eternals. Has a very mechanical-like suit going on. He does have the nice green and kind of a burnt golden color to him, so really does stand out from the crowd of the Eternals with all their different colors. So I do like that. He did come with 2 extra fists, plus 2 regular holding hands, for whatever you want him to hold. He didn't come with any accessories or anything to hold, so he does have that. But he does got his fisted hands, and you guys know he throws a powerful punch if you saw the movie. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving him 2 fisted hands. He's ready to go. But good head sculpt on him. It does look like him, and just as I say that, his arms just wiggle their way out. So I think I'm going to have to heat the body up on this one, as these arms, they go in, but then they slowly work themselves out like a screw when you're messing around with them. So that is a little bit disappointing. But not the end of the world. I'll be able to heat it up, hopefully, and make good on Gilgamesh. But yeah, weird. Both those arms just fell out just like that. But it's to be expected sometimes with some of these smaller Build-A-Figures, like I said. Head sculpt looks great. Looks just like the actor in the movie. It's funny is it seems like just the old fuss. Is there fuss? Well, what fuss I have heard on the Eternals movie is that Gilgamesh is everybody's favorite. So I do find that to be a little interesting, that a lot of people wanted Gilgamesh, and I guess me not being an expert on the Eternals, maybe it was very smart of them to make him the Build-A-Figure, because, nothing against our old boy Droog and Sprite, our old girl Sprite, the 2 I want to punch in the face. Nobody wanted them as the Build-A-Figures. They wanted Gilgamesh, I guess. So that's the way it went. But Gilgamesh, it's all right. We'll rank them, or we'll try to rank these at the very end. But first, we got to take a look at Crow. So there's Gilgamesh. Pretty simple on him. But Crow, a little interesting. Now, this was the first Eternals figure I found at Target way back in the day. And we did see this way back even before that, as a lot of pictures leaked, and then the Eternals got delayed with COVID, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of us were like, what the heck is this thing? What is going on here? And then I think we said that about the entire Eternals wave at one point or another. And like I said in the other videos, if you're playing that long game, now's your time to shine. You could probably get these on clearance at your Walmart and Targets. Seems to be your mileage will vary. Some have them on clearance, some don't. Some don't have them at all. Some have tons. I guess go to your own stores, figure it out. And then, of course, you guys got to know the online retailers will have pretty deep discounts on these, I think, in the next couple of months, I would assume. So stay tuned for that. Once Eternal Madness dies down, is there madness? Is there fuss? I don't think so, but a couple months from now, when it's been on Disney Plus for many months, I think you'll be able to swoop in and get a deal. And you guys know, always got to get a deal. But there's Crow here, spelled interestingly, K-R-O. So, I don't know, he's got to be fancy, I guess. Like a young Limp Biscuit. He's not going to spell like biscuit. They're going to put a Z in there. And Crow's going to put a K in Crow. So good for him. We got Crow down here, Eternals packaging. We got that same Eternal logo at the top. Big hulking, kind of nightmare-inducing monster here is what he looks like. There he is on the side. Very interesting. I was wondering what he's going to be in the movie. And a little bit of a spoiler alert. If you saw the movie, he wasn't in there a ton. And he was a deviant, and he started sucking up the Eternals' powers and turning into more of a human-like form. But I don't know. I felt like there really wasn't a strong villain in the Eternals movie. I don't know. It just didn't feel like your typical superhero movie to me. On the back, we got blurbs back there. We'll read that. We'll see what's going on there. Let's see what it says about old Crow. A powerful deviant, unlike any other, the Eternals have faced over the millennia. Crow's appearance is the harbinger for a global threat. No, nobody likes a global threat. Local threats we can manage through, but global threats, that's where things get tough. Things get difficult. Got that familiar Eternals background here, if that even shows up on screen. See you later, up high, goodbye. Holy cow, we've got pieces throughout. We got a double plastic prison here, but we got all of his little tangle cords and all that going on. Looks like a bunch of snakes is what it looks like to me. Gross. I feel like I'm in a snake pit here. I don't know what's going on. We're going to have to piece those on. See you later up high. There it goes. And then you got Crow. Just looking like a crow would look in the package there if he was in an Eternals movie. Nice color job on this guy, though. I can't wait to dig in and see what's going on. See what all the fuss is about. See you later. All right. I can barely smell. Every once in a while, you guys know old Kyle, his old sniffer works, and I got a little whiff of, I don't know, Chinese plastic? I don't know what this is, but it's very interesting, the colors on this Crow figure, as he's kind of flaking a little bit on me. But a bit of a sparkle to him, and I really like the purple highlights on his body. At first you think it's basically just a green color, but then you see there's some purple highlights to it, some green, some blue. Just very, very good looking figure as a whole. Now, it's one that we don't have the attachment to. This isn't Thanos. This isn't Ultron. This isn't Magneto, Sabretooth. You get the point. This is a character probably nobody even knew before the movie, unless you're a real deep Eternal fan. And even then, I'm not sure how deep he was into the Eternals. Trying to figure out. Okay, I think I see what's going on here. So, but that's Crow right there for without his attachments, we'll call them. So I'm going to stick these in, and they do, okay, it's not rocket science. You just got to line up the hole with the one that it goes to. So let me see. It might fight me a little bit, though. It seems like, oh my gosh, you might have to be heated in there, unfortunately. That's always fun, of course, as you guys all know. Let's see. It's a little challenging. That's definitely not it. I don't know. Let's see what this other one looks like. Yeah, I think I have them. I don't know. It's always complicated, isn't it? But there's two plug-in holes, and none of them seem to want to line totally up the way you'd hope they would. Yep, neither of them do. Okay. Just try to figure it out with Kyle here. Let me see. Can I get it? So the plastic, I mean, you're probably going to have to heat this up. That's what it seems to be right here. It does not want to fit in at all. So I'm going to have to take this off and heat it up. I hate heating things up. It's just too much work for me. But that's what I'm going to have to do. If I want to put these in, we're going to have to heat them up because they're not going to fit just in there the way I want them to. So hold on tight. We'll be back with Crow. All right, we're back from the hairdryer. Grabbed my wife's hairdryer and heated it up just a hair. I had one of my pegs that was just turned a little bit one. The other side I ended up getting with just playing around with it. But they definitely have to go in their certain direction. Yours might be like mine, yours might not. Your mileage may vary, but I did stick those bad boys in the back. They do plug in. They do hold on very well, as every once in a while you get plug-in things that don't, and every time you touch it, it knocks it off. There is nothing more annoying than that. These do stay on very well. So I do like that. The hands are removable, but they're removable at the forearms. So you remove each of these, and you can plug these kind of crazy tentacle hands in there. And they, much like the back, they do fit in their right hand. You can't flip-flop between the hands. You'll know which one is which. But this really makes this guy even more menacing looking with these tentacles going everywhere. He's got like a swamp thing like feet down here, but I love the feet on this. It's a huge base for him. Helps him stand, as obviously these are heavy. These do weigh him down. You can use these as a bit of a tripod to help him stand up. That's probably what I'll do. I think gravity will take its toll and he will slowly, he'll either fall or this arm will slowly drop on you. So that might be the best way to do is put the tentacles down. But he does almost look like a Swamp Thing type character, a Man Thing or something like that. You know, Moss Man even, I guess. He's got like a lot of, wiry to him, but also it almost looks like Mother Nature taking over, like a tree that's overgrown or something. But then all the coloring is what really brings him differently. And then I should start, we'll talk about him, the figure a little bit more here. The eyes, he's got a football type shaped head going on. It looks like 2 sets of eyes on each side. Very nightmare fuel is what this is. And then he's got a mouth on him too that makes him feel like he's a little bit human, but he's all alien at the end of the day. He does have these little cords going up over here like growth. It almost looks like tree growth once again, going up at the top. It's not removable, but you can move these around. They're not rigid, hard, anything like that. And then he's got the intricacies of the whole body being like vines and stuff is what it looks like. Talk about not being able to get the most out of your molds. That is the definition right here. This is a one and done mold done for this character, and it is unfortunate a little bit how much these Eternal figures have failed, especially Crow. I think you can find him at a lot of Targets currently with the other Eternal figures. He has not went to clearance in any of my Targets, which is interesting. He's in the clearance section, but not on clearance when you scan him. But I do think this is a bit of a sleeper one. It's always good to have other villains in lines, but this is such a cool piece of plastic, a cool action figure. Even take it outside of the Eternals movie. This is just something different that looks cool enough for me. So I really do like that. It doesn't hurt that he's a big figure either, but just a very, very cool chunk of plastic is what we got here. And like I said, you can play that long game, maybe get a deal. Target has a lot of sales, especially around Valentine's Day, Easter, stuff like that. If he's still hanging around, you might be able to get him far under retail, and I'd say it's worth a pickup at that much. Then he's got those tentacles in the back, of course. They aren't bendy. I think that is a miss, but it would cost more on the figure. It'd be cool if these were bendy wires. You can move them around any which way you wanted to. That would have been a nice touch. As far as articulation, the arms go up and down like any other Marvel Legend. The head spins every single way you'd want to. He can look very far up, which is nice, and far down. So we do like that. Hands, forearms, I should say, are removable. Choose your own adventure, what you want to do, you can. Ankle articulation, he's got good ankle articulation, a nice base. Instead of a stand, you get this a nice base down here. Does have double jointed knees and double jointed elbows for this big figure, so that is a nice touch. Bicep swivel and thigh swivel as well. And then he's got waist at the diaphragm. You can go to side and stuff. So actually a slam dunk figure, a figure that in a character probably the majority of us are not that attached to. But pretty cool looking piece here. Pretty cool piece, and it blew away my expectations. As we always say on the channel, that is a good thing. So that is Crow. Now, I'm going to go off camera here. I'm going to make my decision. I'm going to put this entire Eternals collection in order from my least favorite to my favorite. We'll briefly talk about it, and we'll finish up the Eternals video. All right, we're back, and we've got all the Eternal characters here. We did a lot of unboxings to get through these entire wave set. Can you imagine if we would have went day by day with one figure a day? It would have took a lifetime is what it would have felt like. So we pieced it together in as few videos as we could do to get through these Eternals and do them the justice they deserve. Sure, why not? But anyways, the Eternals are all here. They're all here for their class picture. And some good, some bad, some indifferent. Really all over the map, especially when you get this many figures. That's usually the way it's going to be. But I'm going to put them in order from my least favorite to my favorite here. We're going to talk about them briefly, what the pros and cons of each one. And then you guys in the comments down below, let me know your thoughts. I'm guessing the majority of you guys out there did not pick up every single one of these. I bet a lot of you guys didn't pick up any at all. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that. Let me know anything you think about the Eternals in the comments down below. So let's do it. Let's rank them in order here. We got what? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 figures. Holy cow. What are we doing? What a time to be alive. All right, we're going number 11. We're going Droog at the end. A guy I would love to punch in the face if I could. Just something about the dude. I don't know what it is. Just not a fan of the character. Not a fan of the figure either. Really just like a chess piece. The most immobile of them all here. He's got that big skirt cover and everything. Very, very pale, which we see that with a lot of figures here, which is a little bit annoying. But Droog, he's coming in last just because there's really not a whole lot to him. Fastos, he's number 10. I can count. Yeah, I can. He's coming in at number 10. Nothing totally against him. He does look a little bit like the Junkyard Dog, but I didn't really have a connection at all, and that helps having a connection to the character in the movie, at least a little bit of a connection to making you like a character or even a figure in this case a little bit more. Don't have that with him at all. Just kind of seems like he's there, and that's how he seems in this total lineup. That's why he's at number 10. Number 9, Makari here. I don't know. Just a little interesting. Doesn't look like her as much as, let's say, Angelina Jolie's character. Still a good enough one. Does not fit on a stand, which was disappointing. All of them fit except her, at least for me. Just not bells and whistles I want. I like the addition of the Jimmy Superfly Snuka I love you hand here. That's cool because we all know she is deaf in the movie, deaf in real life. So giving some sign language action in the hands I think is a really cool, nice touch. But not a lot for me there either. Then Ajax is here. A little disappointing on that one. The head sculpts are okay on her. I definitely know it's Salma Hayek. I definitely like this head sculpt better. But still, just kind of is what it is. A little bit like a chess piece. Maybe a queen in the chess piece. You know, she's a somewhat of the leader of the Eternals, if you've seen the movie. So I'm going to put her there. Then Cersei next. I actually like this one a lot more than I thought I would. I thought Cersei would be a little farther down. But yeah, she's just kind of there is what she is. But looks good. It looks a lot like the actress. She was in the movie, I think, the most of anybody. So maybe that helps her move a little closer to me because I feel more attachment to the character. I don't know, we got Cersei there. Then we get to the middle and we got our old gal Sprite, who I thought was a boy, who I really did want to punch in the face. Probably the most annoying character in the entire movie. That being said, I like that this feels different. It's a smaller figure. It just feels different than a lot of these other ones here, so it gets a little higher on the list because of the difference. A lot of these guys feel like they're kind of the same thing in just different colors is what they imagine kind of look like. Different suits is about to it. But Sprite feels different being a smaller character. I love my big figures, but I also love my smaller characters as well. Then we get to Icarus. I thought Icarus was pretty good. Did not have a Build-A-Figure piece with him, but I did like the extra head sculpt with him. So I thought that was a really cool attention to detail. A little bit of something different. Really going into this movie, I thought he was going to be the kind of the star, and he really was not. So a very interesting dynamic and turn throughout the movies on Icarus here, but still a very solid figure. The blue and the gold on him really does pop. A very, very good figure. Then we get to the Build-A-Figure Gilgamesh. I don't foresee this one making a top 5 Build-A-Figure list or top 10 Build-A-Figure list ever for me. It's interesting how many people like Gilgamesh. I mean, he's fine enough, but didn't blow my socks off or anything like that. Didn't take my breath away. But in an okay one, I like the color scheme on him. I like that he has a little bit more heft to him. He is a little bit bigger. Very similar to Fastos in about size quality. But I understand, I think him being so popular was probably the perfect one to put in the Build-A-Figure because, hey, it'll make people buy some of these figures others didn't want just to get him. So this could be a very expensive Build-A-Figure one day when the dust settles on this entire line because we got to be honest, not a lot of people are going to buy these. Not a lot of people are going to buy all these to complete him. So it'll be interesting to see the value on him one day down the line. So stay tuned for that, I guess. And then go to Kingo, who I really did like the looks of this one. I talked in the video, he was the hardest one out of all these to find. That has changed since these have been out for a while now, but at the beginnings, he was extremely hard to find, and I was happy to find him. I love the hand effects he's got going there. I like the character in the movie. I thought that was pretty good. So he's very high up at number 3 in my list here. So Kingo, number 3. And then a little bit of a shocker here, but number 2 for me is Thena. Don't call her Athena. You guys know that rule. But Thena looked really good. Angelina Jolie, of course, the Target exclusive. I thought the head sculpt, the face sculpt on this one was amazing. I think it looks just like her. I like all the extra weapons with her. That is one thing the rest of the line really severely lacks is there's no weapons, there's no accessories. I don't know what you could have gave them, but it just feels like they're lacking. It feels like they just weren't all there. I'd almost rather have this entire wave as a one big box set. Charge $200 for the whole box set or something. Put them all together. I think more people would have jumped on that as well. If we had a nice box set presented really nice in packaging, I think a lot of MCU collectors, a lot of Marvel Legends collectors that keep them in box would keep them all together, have that nice box displayed. Then openers like me, we'd buy that as well. Whereas you get single carded here, that's a lot of real estate. That's a lot of space for a min-on box collector. I just think that would have been this would have been a better wave to do a deluxe box set with. But that's me. You guys let me know your opinions in the comments below. But Athena is very good. I like this one. A little bit pale. That's really the only negativity I have for this figure, but I like it a lot. The extra weapons is really cool and really fun for her as well. So there's Athena coming in at number 2. And then number 1's got to be Crow. And I don't know. I think we all figured Crow would be number 1. He's probably number 1 on your guys' list, or at least top 3, I would have to imagine, because it is such a different sculpt. For a deluxe figure, one and done mold here. The accessories, the extra hands, the backing tentacles. There's a lot going on here. This is one of those figures where you walk by a display, you see him, and he catches your eye, and you're like, what is that? What is that? I want to know more about this. Just a very diverse, very different, very off the beaten path from the rest of these figures, so he feels totally different. Also a bad guy, also a deluxe figure. That does help him. So Crow, he's coming in at number 1 for me. All together, like I said in all the videos, I think this set is better when you have all of them. It feels better having all of them. You got the team complete. They'll display. I'll tighten this up, put these on a display shelf somewhere. It'll look good. But if you're just going to buy Icarus by himself, I just don't know if that's the way to go. I feel like it's all or none with these. Crow withstanding, you don't really need to have him. You just need to have the core team for the most part. So I think you would enjoy this Eternal set a lot more if you have all of them. If you just have 1 or 2, I could see this being that's so hard to say goodbye down the road, because what are they without their team? The Eternals are truly a team. The Avengers, Iron Man can sit on his own. Captain America can sit on his own. Incredible Hulk can sit on his own. You name it. Same with the X-Men. Same with the Fantastic Four to some degree. But I feel like the Eternals, there's not enough fandom for them to sit on their own. Nobody wants just an Icarus shelf. It's just not going to happen. It's just the powerful and the strength of the characters over the years. It's not here. The love is not here. You don't see kids walking around with a Mercari t-shirt on. It's just not going to happen. So get all of them. I think you'll like them. Get 1 or 2. You're probably going to sell them and pass on them later down the road. That's where I sit, as you guys know, right here at this table. And that's my final verdict. But what is your final verdict on the Eternals? All in, all out, indifferent, don't care. I think we're going to run the gamut here with the majority not being all in, at least at this point. But as the clearance game goes, some of you guys might jump in on some clearance. I could see it happening. So keep me abreast in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. It's the least you could do for making me go through all these figures and playing that long game and doing all the stuff we did. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to share the video if you were so inclined. Follow me on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, and of course, ProWrestlingTees.com. Search Kyle Peterson, support the channel. So for the Eternals, I'm Eternal. I am Kyle. See you guys all real soon.